What's up, ladies and gentle-tubers? Welcome back to the eveRide channel. My name is Tyler, and we're going back to a weekender rally a few weeks ago. Up to this point, it had been a pretty great rally. Yeah, there were a few mechanical mishaps, a few spills, but overall I think everybody understands that stuff happens on adventures, and that's just what we do out here. So this is Kathy, and she was setting an awesome pace for a schooling rally, but on this off-camber stuff, she had a bit of a get-off. And this is when Howard's fibula snapped like a dry reed. After a pretty sketchy truck rescue out of the Badlands that night, Howard and his son Eli, who were actually here on their second weekender rally, spent a few hours at the local hospital. Now, on their previous rally, things hadn't gone so well either. If you recall, there was a flash flood which resulted in two very cold riders, a night truck rescue, a drowned motorcycle, a flat tire, and some broken ribs. Now, when Howard and Eli returned from the hospital that night, I expected somber faces and disappointed hearts, but what actually happened was laughter and positivity and genuine levity from Howard. And I had to ask him, man, aren't you bummed about missing the ride tomorrow and having a broken leg? And he replied, well, yeah, but this stuff happens. It's an adventure. And now I have something to brag about to the guys back home to show them that I got to come out and have a real adventure in Utah. That sometimes these rides aren't about getting awesome footage and riding the gnarliest or most scenic or most fun trails. It's not about the great food or the learning techniques that's all part, sure, but there's much more to it. Even when things go wrong, and I can't really explain it, at least not yet, but even when things go wrong, it's good. This rally taught me that when things go bad, that's when a simple ride turns into either an adventure or a massive cluster cuss. And the very thin line between the two of those is defined by gratitude. So guys, I'm getting a little bit personal here, but if you've been with the channel for a while, you know that I struggle with a bipolar flavor of depression. I struggle with attention deficit, with suicidal ideation, with a lot of social anxieties, a lot of things that really don't mesh at all with being in any kind of spotlight like I am here on YouTube. And this last year, I've been really absent on social media. I just couldn't handle it. I'm off my meds, totally. In September, I had some med changes that didn't jive with my brain, so rather than shuffling around the dosages and meds like I was doing, I just wanted to get a baseline of my own unmedicated behavior. And getting off meds was a big decision, one that I talked about with my family and my doctor, and it's kind of a scary thing, and I hope it doesn't come back to bite me in the butt, but I have to be honest, I do feel more alive. And I'm not advocating that anybody try this experiment with me. If you're on meds, I suggest you stick with them. My highs are higher and my lows are lower. Anxiety is actually way down, but focusing is much tougher. But I'm working really, really hard to rewire my brain. And so I've read a lot of bogus stuff, but I've read a lot of really great studies as well. And gratitude is one of those emotions that can rewire our brains. Google gratitude brain study or something similar and just see what comes up. The studies are astounding. So if you would, I would love it if you would start a very simple exercise with me. And it's one that has been proven in study after study to increase happiness, to reduce depression and anxiety, and even help with focus and getting better sleep. It takes almost nothing, maybe 30 seconds to a minute of your day, but here it is. Get a piece of paper, put it by your bedside, and every night before you go to sleep, fill at least one line, just one line, with things that you're grateful for that day. And then if you're a spiritual person, or even if you're not and you just want to try it out, kneel down and thank God for those things on your list. And guys, this should be easy, especially for us because we've got motorcycles. We get to see things that are amazing whenever we ride. We are surrounded by good, honest, loving people in this community of dual sport adventurers. There is a lot to be grateful for. And for me, it's impossible to ride a motorcycle and not feel gratitude for health, for prosperity, for the beauty that surrounds us all, and for really great friends and relationships. And when I do get banged up, I want to be like Howard. It's a good reminder of how lucky I am to heal up and have the use of my body again. So guys, here's the challenge. Right now, pause the video, grab a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, and put it on your pillow, because this starts today. And seriously, I would be honored if you would try this thought experiment with me. So you guys, thank you. Seriously, thank you for watching and for supporting and for listening to my randomness over the years, from the ADD-riddled motovlogs in the beginning to the recent and slightly more polished ramblings. Thank you for spending your precious time with me watching these videos. There have been so many of you guys who have touched my life for the better. Every single producer, everyone who clicks the links at everrideadv.com, everybody who has come to the rallies, who buys a sheepskin seat cover or a t-shirt, or even little gestures like a thumbs up on a video or a quick kind word in the comments. I'm so grateful for you being a part of this weird little journey of mine and helping to support my family and me. And some of you guys have really changed my life in an enormous way. John Hartsfield, John Beeman, Damon Aguirre, Brent Whitney, Josh Sylvester, Ed Barnes, Garrett Wasslin, Jesse Kimball, Gabe Kraus, Justin Deschamps, just to name a very, very few of the amazing and supportive and great people in my life. So I love you guys, and thank you for being my friends. And to my wife, Jessie, you are the greatest blessing in my life. I love you with all of my heart, and I'm so glad my kids get to have you as their mother, and I have you as my best friend and my dear wife. And I love you more. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone, and much love. eveRide out. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentle tubers? It is that time of year again. It is the annual tradition of the gRADitudes with a rad in the middle. For this year's gRADitudes video, we're doing something a little bit different. Lately, I've seen a lot of articles about how gratitude actually rewires our brains. And as I was looking for the specific study on Google, I Googled gratitude rewires brain. And it turns out there have been hundreds of studies, and the results are really, kind of not surprising when you do a gratitude study. Basically, the more that we show gratitude, the better our mental health is. And there were a ton of other benefits, like better sleep and more motivation and better health and a happier disposition, lower depression and anxiety, and better management of cravings. And basically, gratitude is just like awesome for our brains. So the best part about all of this, all this gratitude, is that the brain looks for things that it already believes are true, the confirmation bias. So once we increase our gratitude, our brains naturally seek more gratitude, which starts what many of these studies and professors and people call a virtuous cycle, unlike a vicious cycle. Now, there's one thing that's really clear in all of these studies, and that is gratitude is not a comparison. Seeing somebody else as worse or better off than you are is not what gratitude is. Gratitude is being genuinely grateful for your unique situation, no matter how it stacks up to somebody else's lot in life. So this year, I've seen some excellent examples of gratitude. A guy named Howard Nunes, for example, came out here and broke his leg while on a schooling rally. The same thing happened to Matt, who people contributed so much money to his GoFundMe. That was truly an awesome thing. Both of those guys had a bad situation, and they turned it into something good. Howard went away from a rally saying, hey, now I've got this broken leg. People are going to ask about it, how I got it. and I can tell him that I was out having a motorcycle adventure in Utah. So he kind of flipped it on its head. And it's hard to show gratitude when something like that happens, but these guys pulled it off. So anyway, I have a little bit of a challenge for you. And while it's not difficult, it's not going to be just totally easy, kind of passive thing either. I want you to get a single piece of paper and every single day fill out just one line. Just one line. You can do more if you want to, but at least one line of things that you are genuinely grateful for. And you're going to do that. If you're going to do this challenge, do that right now. Go ahead, pause the video, grab a piece of paper or a notepad and a pen or a pencil and put it right by your nightstand. And every night before you go to bed, fill up just one line at least. And you can go nuts if you want, but one line every day. And let's see if we can make ourselves a little bit better, a little bit happier, a little bit more grateful, a little less depressed, a little less anxiety, get better sleep. There's a lot of benefits that these studies have shown happen, and I personally would really like to be a beneficiary of the benefits. Is that a thing? I guess it is. But let's see if these studies will work on our lives and show a little bit more gratitude on our life. To start things off, why not list a few things that you're grateful for right now in the comments below, and I'll say a very few things that I am grateful for also. So a bunch of you guys are new subscribers and you weren't here for the gratitudes in videos past, year after year. So you're probably like, what is happening? I thought this was a motorcycle channel. And that actually relates to my first 2 gratitudes this year. Thank you so much for joining me on this eveRide channel. Whether you're one of the first 100 people that subscribed in the first year that I started doing this in like 2011, or whether you're like part of the last 20,000 people that subscribed in 2019. That's a huge, it blows my mind. And honestly, I get a little overwhelmed by this whole thing because to me, I'm just one guy that makes videos alone here in my room. And there's a lot of people out there watching these, and unlike a lot of creators who really get into the social media scene and really enjoy being famous and stuff like that, as my channel grows, my anxiety has actually skyrocketed. So I've realized that I'm really not cut out for the limelight. I'm not really cut out for social media being recognized or anything like that. I'm not really on Facebook or Instagram like I used to be, or in the forums, and even on YouTube, I'm not concerned with getting millions of views or subscribers. I just want to make some good videos for this relatively small community, mainly about dual sports. I don't really branch off. I'm not trying to bring in other audiences or whatever. But yeah, I just want to serve the dual sport community, and I'm trying to be a good dad, and I'm trying to just host some fun rallies out here. And really, it's just my wife and me, and there's no team of editors or deep corporate pockets involved, but I do get to do what I love. So thank you guys for watching these videos, especially when there are a ton of other fantastic channels out there that, let's be honest, they do a much, much better job than I can do. So it really means a lot to me that you take the time out of your busy day and tune in, and hopefully there's some value in these videos. In fact, you clicked on this video even though it doesn't have an enticing title or a review or anything really motorcycle related at all. And you've lasted this long listening to me watching this video, and I can pretty much guarantee that you're either really bored or you're really awesome. So thank you for being here. Because these gratitudes videos that I do every year, they're traditionally really unpopular. They don't get a lot of views, and I'm actually that's number 2. I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful that I get to be myself and get personal sometimes and dive into stuff that other channels just won't touch because they have nothing to do with selling motorcycles or motorcycle parts. So, you know, whether that's a hard discussion about depression or from a counterculture review on a motorcycle that's, you know, not popular or controversial or whatever, the best thing about it is that I can back off of the motorcycle stuff once in a while and make videos like this, because there is a lot more to life. There's a lot more to my life than riding motorcycles. And I can just be me sometimes because I don't have to bow down to sponsors. I don't have to fret over a video that gets low views, hurting my channel statistics. because thanks to my producers, I don't have to put together charts with big numbers and try to convince sponsors to come pay me money to sell their stuff. So thanks to the patrons, I can stay out of the limelight and kind of hide under my little anxiety rock and be away from the craziness of Facebook and Instagram and even YouTube a lot of the times. I used to get really upset that these big companies were just killing me when it came to numbers and statistics. So I would spend an enormous amount of time on social media just trying to keep up. And then one day I was watching the Grand Tour and I saw the credits, and it dawned on me to make just one episode of the Grand Tour, it takes hundreds of highly skilled crew members and millions of dollars. I looked it up, $1 to $5 million per episode. And even the Grand Tour is only putting out like 15 hours of content per year. And, you know, here I was struggling to produce half of that, but I look at all those credits and all the names and all the money, and I realized, it dawned on me, I can't be the Grand Tour. I can't manage a social media presence like the big motorcycle companies with the big crews. I can't match the quality or the quantity of videos from big, awesome, wealthy corporations like Rocky Mountain ATV or Fortnite, because again, I'm just one guy. And I've got a family and a life outside of this whole thing. So I started this channel working 60 to 80 hours a week, and I just couldn't keep that up and keep the sanity that I have left. And that's not really a joke. It was literally driving me crazy. I was going nuts. So, you know, the research and the writing and the filming and the editing and the voiceover and the drone work on this channel, that's all on my shoulders. And so I'm glad that I could finally let go of some of the social media drama and the competition and just focus on what matters to me. And, you know, with the brain that I've got, I'm doing my very best. So I'm very, very grateful for you guys for watching, you know, my little videos. And for those of you who are patrons and producers, I am immensely grateful for your support that makes this whole dream possible, because a channel like this, you know, it has to make money to be sustainable. With the time that it takes to make these videos and the cost of equipment and all that stuff, it's just way too expensive to do as a hobby. And there's kind of two ways to make a channel sustainable. You can sell stuff and get paid by a few big companies who control the content, or to stay independent, you rely on small monthly contributions from a few hundred producers like you guys. Now, there's nothing wrong with sponsored content or selling good products through a channel, but if I went solely with the companies, videos like this one would be impossible. So talking about depression or suicide or bipolar disorder or family stuff, or even doing moto vlogs or reviewing obscure bikes without bias or talking about unbranded gear, all of that would be impossible if my income relied only on sponsorships and sales. So thank you guys so much for being here, just for watching a video that isn't specifically about motorcycles, but about gratitude and listening to me talk about the things that I'm grateful for in my life this year. Here's the thing, there are thousands of people who I owe so much to who I am immensely grateful for. And so many have been absolutely essential to making this whole dream work. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for your support that you've given to my family and me. Thank you for letting me live my dream. Thank you guys. This whole journey has been amazing. And once it started to get big and kind of get uncomfortable for somebody like me, thank you for letting me kind of hide away and be myself. And that's a huge blessing in my life. So thank you guys so much. Much love. eVRide out.